The first one is called pan ignition. COVID is a fire that starts in your toes. It burns up your legs and on into your tongue. The virus chews through taste, looking for a way into your lungs. Breathe. Suck in air through 4 layers of mask. Check on the air quality index. Breathe. Life is a day of soot, a paralysis of effort. Life is 4 walls, painted smoke, and weary lungs. The dog does not register your illness, needs out, needs in, needs food, needs out, needs a walk, needs in, needs food, needs out, twirls in the usual excitement, does not register fire, does not accept fatigue. You put the mask over his snout, he looks plaintive and unaware of the dangerous, invisible particles that swirl into the room whenever the door swings open, but still needs out, needs in, needs food, needs out, paws the air, blows up the fire that breaks out on your head, that licks your hair into a dew that you've never previously achieved. The virus is canning across your forehead, ignites a blaze on every strike until the map of your face is alight, seared with flames. Urgent care is full of refugees and there are no tests available. The dog waits in the car, breathes in the pan-ignidemic. The car, prepared with water, with pet food, with "Go Now" painted in level 3 red on the doors, reflecting off a no sky, off air crowded with spirits. Conditions remain hazardous. Coughing remains ubiquitous. The fire is not contained. The burn continues. Isolation. You watch sunsets, margarita sloshing in hand, concrete warm on bare feet. Listen to sprinklers chirr beyond the fence. You watch the sky, grateful to breathe. Pluto speaks to you. Grief is your companion with friends beyond the fence. You watch meteors streak and howl to earth, evidence that here on the left coast of chaos, tragedy is still sister to beauty on both sides of the fence. Rain. A rain day, drop day. Rain data, data point, data drop, drop in data. What date to a drop? Wet drop or dry drop? Leaves fall, dropping leaves, dropping like drops, like rain so dry it rattles like nails in a can, clinkers from the sky, knobby lumps, drop too dry to splat. The sky, a cooperative gray, drops a stubborn not precipitation. No fire quenching in this not rain. This place famous for drops come now to a dryness, to a not wetness, to a new return, to volcano plumes, to acidic rills, pools of not water, of rock soup, of clump drops, of dry days of not rain. So several years ago, I went to see with my friend Susan the Syrian documentary called The White Helmets. And in that movie, there is a scene looking out over the city, and it's a long shot. Away in the distance is a plane, and it's dropping bombs. Aleppo. The sky was blue while they fell, slowly turning, like runway walkers twisting to feature a shoulder. The sky was blue and rust. They fell twisting in the silence of no breath, in the vacuum of waiting. They fell, not like smooth cartoon bombs, but with unexpected elbows, making them twist down the skyway. Two heavy packages with elbows, falling with only blue and rust behind, just blue and rust and falling. Just a sky of elbows, shoulders, knees, wrists, all falling through blue and rust in the vacuum of waiting. And this poem you will think was written a year ago in the summer, but it was written 4 years ago after I saw this event. EPD Sergeant. Run, boy, I got you in the blue rolling lights, ice inside my black SUV until I step out into the sweat of Alder Street summer. While drunk boy leaks trash, talks up the testosterone, dances on the curb. I got you, boy, in the teeth of my eyes, my not now eyes, my not ever eyes, in my father feet spread stance. You will hear my fingers screw your head into stillness. You think I'm bullshitting you, boy. No, my muscles are ripped with an adrenaline high. Taunt and laugh, I'll run those gang colors down. I am the piked bull that leaks red. Now is the time to kneel. You are my hair shirt. You are that thorn in my side, frequently not welcome. You are an unwanted puzzle, a bramble that I struggle with. You challenge my belief that I keep equanimity near. I guide you, offer the wisdom I've gathered in these 6 decades. But it has occurred to me that offering you wisdom may not be the business of our prickly interactions, and that walking away from this disquiet does not allow an escape. You are a lesson that persists, that recurs. You are here to teach me. When you are angry, I will not grasp it. When you are inflexible, I will not grasp it. When you are blind, I will not grasp it. When you are whatever label I choose, I will not grasp it. I wonder if the purpose of wearing a hair shirt is not suffering. I wonder if discomfort is a tool for staying mindful, staying present, for not just reacting, for remembering not to grasp. I must listen to you, Thorn. You are not bad, and although it sometimes feels that you batter me to vent your frustration, I don't believe that is your intent, just your weakness. You are a bell ringing insistently, like that concept in calculus, going halfway, then halfway again, then halfway again, approaching the limit, but never reaching it. You are my limit, allowing me to approach what is real, though I'll never reach it. A dog. I open the door, there stands a dog. He looks at me, self-possessed, trots inside, not like this is home, like he belongs. We share dinner, no conversation, no stories exchanged. He chooses a cushion in a corner for bed. I open my eyes. He is there, seated. He looks with little expression, perhaps anticipation. We share pancakes. He likes the bacon best, sits staring out the window while I wash up, goes to the door. We stroll. Dog pads along, lifts his nose, closes his eyes to the aromas, swings slightly in that dog walk way, growls at the squirrels. Time grows in the fields around us. It whirls in the wind, vaporizes into clouds, silent. Time walks with us, with every step, every stride, with dog, with me. One day in an empty house, I open cupboards. There are my lungs. There is my heart. There are my eyes asking, what do you look for? Dog is not there, belonging, packed up or left behind. He has gone. Emptiness, the only goodbye. Petra. I knew her from her bedside, where great-grandmother retired one fall day. Her feet still in good order, her heart still filling and emptying. Yet somewhere inside there was rubble, ragged waves breaking raw on cobbles. Her slender stem of wellness bent until she no longer found a reason to rise. She would pat the bedside. That was not odd to a child who accepts what is, though my preference was the glass dish in the bathroom that held white shaving powder transformed into creamy foam, while the grown-ups whispered. Warren Elementary. The deal in finding home through the narrow defile of memory is that the way may be obscured by someone arguing about direction. It is easy to be distracted and end up in a curio shop full of detail but lacking in substance. I am one to miss the turnoff, charmed by a glittery statue that looks authentic but is really a clever rendition of David fashioned from 20 years of dryer lint. Words can hail like a fast taxi down the neuron highway. Say smock, I feel the cotton, the outsized buttons, the billows of the gathers. I see it on a peg above the galoshes in my third grade cloakroom within the wooden two-story at the end of Berg Road. It burned in the 80s. The smoke of the cloaks and smocks, the wooden rulers, the paste, and the fishy smell of my teacher's breath hangs as a permanent cloud over the site. I know that if I go there and look up, I'll see the tarbells, the glass cocks and dewies. Their teeth will still be uneven. Some of them might be wearing smocks, buttoned crookedly. Some will wave at me. Timothy Abbott will offer a grass ring. The twins, Ronnie and Donnie, will ask how I found my way back. Morning in gravel. Oops, sorry. The child sits in fine sunlit gravel, folds hands and toes through its warmth. The child sings to the nearby birds, watches the shadows as they fill. She climbs the trees and flies, spreads her child arms to grasp the air. Chill creeps over her skin, stings her eyes as she masters the current. The child wiggles further down the gravel, sings to the grasshoppers that grind away on the forest leaves that flex their thorny legs, watching the child with their awed eyes. The child sings to the trees that murmur dryly in reply, bounce in the breeze, drink in the air, consider the touch of child hands, the weight of child feet, gather her into themselves. Grasshoppers cling to her hair. She sings, rooted, finds her way into the sky. Igloo sky. We love the igloo sky best, great frozen dome. We love the fish sky of orange scales, the rend and shred of scraping sky. Remember the date skin sky, the lichen sky, the silk sky and the white sear sky. Look into your cup, Find the milk foam sky. What more change than every moment under every sky? Go out, lock back your head, open your arms, gather the drops of whatever falls into you. Daily prayer. Not in anger this day with gray, let us kneel and be with the breath of sea. When it is time to thread the sting, our feet shall be red. Let us bind ourselves to the quiet trumpet of wild birds. Cast away on the ice, eat plain bread, foregoing the honey. Not in anger swell bees, let us grasp hands in the tree hold, bend the wind to wing, not fast the sound of their beating. Let us remain, listen to each tiny wing set fanning, make a concert of lifting. Not in anger does the great cat kill. Let us be fed today, for tomorrow has no presence, and there shall be honor in breathing. Lift up your eyes, for tomorrow has no presence. Let us taste our tongues, let us clean our feet. Let us release the sting of sea within. And the next poem is in the form of a pantun. What to love. I did not choose what to love, the clay already on my feet. Summer north wind roves, conifer boughs in Chinook heat. Red clay sticks to my feet, coyote is friend and tormentor. Conifers bow in Chinook heat, rain's return becomes pleasure. Coyote's friend and tormentor sits in a kayak, a seal. Rain on skin is pleasure, tide breathes kelp green meal. Sitting in a kayak, a seal, my mother swallowed her home. Tides the breath of her meal, desert lichen grew in her womb. My mother swallowed her home, the north winds that rove, desert lichen came from her womb, no choosing what we love. The water cycle. On the North Fork of the Middle Fork of the Willamette, the energy of the mountain river is in vapor and sound. It impresses and confounds. Each molecule of water passes, is gone, is followed by another that is gone again, repeat forever. I used to pull the plug on my children's bath and say, there goes the water, down the drain, into the drain field, through the soil, into Doak Creek, down the pasture, out to Coyote Creek, where it works its way slowly to Fern Ridge Reservoir, then tumbles into the Long Tom River and soon joins the Willamette that glides north over the falls at Oregon City, under the bridges of Portland, smack into the confluence with the mighty Columbia that furrows the clay for the last miles to the Pacific, where it drops stolen minerals, the salt and the sand, and flows over salmon gills that then evaporates into a cloud that floats back to the farm, that rains and rains. It fills the tanks, that fills the tap, that fills the bath. I sit beside this river where each molecule is new. I greet and greet and greet with one hand, wave farewell with the other. Curator. A flock of kinglets flies into my lemon tree to strip all the scale from the branches and leaves, talking as kinglets do as they eat. A gift of kohlrabi arrives and is planted in my mother's honor, who enjoyed this oddity that grows enormous, the very definition of green leaves, that hold themselves stiffly horizontal, making it possible for a little green snake perfectly matching the green of the leaf to be waiting for me to see, waiting also like the kinglets for an insect meal to arrive. The leaf, my lemon tree, becomes serving platters. I gather strawberries for lunch while a squirrel scolds me for stealing its treat. Young hare morning, young with sticky feet, coat changing to winter, shakes fur to tremble air.
Mom.
My son has arrived, excuse me. Ollie, I can't talk right now.
Is there a reason the dog being wrong?
Yes. Could you put him back, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'll start again. Hare morning, young with sticky feet, coat changing to winter, shakes fur to tremble the air. 7 a.m. in March. Dog and I take our dark walk, feet clicking, frozen sidewalk. We burrow beneath bare tree branches, turn left on 25th, west towards spring moon. Moon and dog and I in the infinite blue, like a woman in a window, she watches us pass. A couple more, and these are all very light. Sock abduction. Single socks steal away and soar into the night toward the slipper moon. Married socks with a different sensibility settle in the drawer, toes digging into the deep, down to the cool, smooth bottom where they giggle and dance and eventually spring the trap door that dumps them between the gunnels of a waiting boat. They're sold off into servitude, used as mittens to save children with chicken pox from scarring themselves. Do not think, though, that single socks escape to a cozy paradise. They are doomed to circling the oceans, always a wing. Those aren't frigate birds up there lost at sea. They're expensive merino smock wools. Drawing lesson. On the first day, the art teacher said, draw a rock, use 3 techniques. That was all. Draw a rock, 3 techniques. I selected a rock. I waited for techniques. Each day that passed, darkened with charcoal, was muted by pencil hashings, became smeared with paint drops. The rock was silent, techniqueless. It rolled, thumping past its flatter side, back and forth across the room, matching my searching strokes, mute as soup, blank as eggshell. The drawing pad filled, but remained absent of rockness. When we returned to class, this: draw a pane of glass, use any technique. And the last poem, you are not imagining things. These are not real words. Sprigs a booting. When Febre come Ruth, the Enag Glittler Frodley, the Drilt, the 2 o'clock bouche, Parage in blod collar, in stitch knot with dronzel, and talk-tack shining from woothy pilates. Oh, the froth of it, the dearie smills chelt, our hearts might gladdeth, might thruden, we wear our link ladles, tugen.